What's going on, all you wild AOL Instant Messenger enthusiasts out there? It's your two favorite uncles back here for Cinephellas. I'm Logan Myers. That's my good mate over there.
I'm Henry Hill, and we've got a good old horror movie for you tonight. Horror slash comedy, we can say. It was made by the SNL veteran Kyle Mooney, that silly goose. He decided to get his friends together, assemble a cast, and take us back into the 90s, 1999 to be exact, right before Y2K, if you're old enough to remember that whole computer fiasco and the whole paranoia and, everybody being terrified before the new millennium. I remember being at a party and at midnight somebody clicked off the lights, like flipped the fuse off, and everybody was like, ah. But anyways, this movie just came out and hit digital this week. We both got a chance to watch it. What's it called, Uncle Logan?
Y2K.
Y2K and ASL.
This is Kyle Mooney's featured directorial debut. Of course, fan of his from SNL. I think he was on there for about 9 seasons, so he was on there for a while. Like you said, got his friends together, made this movie. Of course, taking us back to 1999. I mean, you of course remember that. I was over at a buddy's house. I think I was a freshman in high school, and we just ended up chilling at the house. Nothing happened. We're like, okay. But I like what Kyle Mooney does with this movie. What if something did happen? The new
Right.
millennium clock strikes midnight, and everything goes bonkers. And essentially, that's basically the setup of this movie. We've got Jaden Martell playing Eli. You got his friend Danny, played by Julian Dennison, New Zealand actor. Two dorky kids in school. Not a lot going on for them. They want to go to this party, and of course, they go to the party, and shit hits the fan.
That's right. Two nerds looking to make it big and score the chicks before the new millennium. In 1999, this movie is chock full of 90s music. I love the cuts that Kyle Mooney throws in here. Everything you can think of, a lot of one-hit wonders in there. Took us back to the 90s for sure. And, even Fred Durst featured in the film. That was hilarious to bring him in and have him be his own character in the film. But I love the group of friends here. They felt like they were actually buddies and hanging out. We have Rachel Ziegler here, coming in, and she's going to be playing Snow White, and she's here in a comedy horror film from Kyle Mooney in Y2K as this teenager. And, Y2K happens, and then the machines basically take over and come alive and are looking to kill all of mankind. And it's going to be up to these nerds to save themselves and save their friends and hopefully, continue human existence on Earth.
I think it was pretty funny, because the first act of the movie, it's just like them getting set up to the characters crashing this New Year's Eve party. The rest of the film is
Hmm.
just bonkers. When the machines start coming to life, computers, electronics, they form these robots and they start killing people in the most gruesome way possible. And I loved it. Cutting off limbs and stabbing people, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, we need to get out of here and be the heroes." That's exactly Jaden Martell does with the Eli character. The dorky kid comes to save the day and get the hot girl, which is Rachel Zegler, Laura's character in this film. And pretty interesting. And I thought there was a lot of really funny scenes, a lot of great gruesome, gory death scenes. And I thought the parts Kyle Mooney was in, he played like the stoner video store clerk
Yeah.
Garrett. He was hilarious, had the dreads, added a lot of great comedy and a lot
Yeah.
of completely unbelievable scenarios in this movie, which I appreciated.
Yeah, this movie's absolutely ridiculous. And if you ever remember any of Kyle Mooney's stuff on SNL, it's exactly what you'd expect. And he always just made me laugh just how ridiculous and goofy and silly he was. And like he's in this movie and his parts really made me laugh out loud and chuckle too. The scene where they're all passing around a bong. A couple of them end up dying in the circle there. And like you mentioned, they have the party, the big party on the New Year's, much like all of us were at. Pretty much everybody was at a party on New Year's Eve, 1999. It was a huge event. So to like take you there, it really brought us into there in the movie, and then have the machines come alive. We had the one with the disk drive was shooting out CDs that were impaling people. You get everything in this movie, all electronics, computers. You get them forming big robots and coming after the people. It's just off the wall chaos and silliness. You're not going to take this seriously. Neither of us did, but we both laughed along with it, just trying to have a good time here. And, should this have came out around, when it did? Um, Probably not. It was kind of late in the year after Halloween had already kind of died down, and now you're releasing it digitally like 2 weeks later. Didn't do so well at the theaters. This would have been best on a streaming service, I think. But A24 were attached, so they had some big, people back in the movie. And, overall, it was exactly what I expected. No more, no less. It gave me exactly what I wanted. Some cheap laughs, really funny third act with Fred Durst playing himself coming out and talking about, do you remember back in the Family Values tour when Wes Borland, he's telling old stories and stuff, and the kids are like, yeah, sure. And, none of the kids are taking things serious. And then after the events of the film are over and the kids save the day, you get the scene, a couple of years later to catch up with them and see what's going on in the world now. And they're all looking back on the time and they're like playing a Limp Bizkit song, which was the Rollin' song. And the big fan there is like, yeah, fucking sellouts. So it was just really funny commentary on the whole thing. But, overall, it delivered for me what I wanted. Cheap laughs. Kyle Mooney's kind of humor here. Not a great film, not something that I'm going to own physically or anything like that. I don't want it for the collection, but definitely something to laugh along with, during the Christmas break here for these two wild boys. And I had a good time. And I'll go ahead and give my score. I'm going to give a Y2K. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 Kyle Mooney bong pieces.
Easy there, Garrett. What I truly appreciated about the movie is obviously the nostalgia. Taking a trip back then, we were teenagers, zits on our face, braces, awkwardness, going into high school for me at least. I know you're in high school already, but going into high school, just I could relate with Eli's character, trying to figure out what I wanted to be in life and meeting people and awkward and stuff like that. So I thought he did a great job kids growing up, and of course all the technology, AOL Instant Messenger, the
Mhm.
burn CDs, burning CDs back then. Kids have no idea what that is. The
Yeah.
dial-up internet with modems and just pop culture, clothing, music. This would
Hmm.
be a playlist I'm gonna be checking out on Spotify. It took me back to 1999. Had a great time with it. It's a fun movie. Chill out, relax during the holiday season, and check it out. It's worth a watch. Definitely not a movie I'll probably rewatch or own, but it's worth a watch. So that being said, I'm gonna give Y2K. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Kyle Mooney hair pieces.
So we want to hear from all you guys out there. What did you think of Y2K? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, follow along with us on our webpage, Cinephellas.com, all our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and X, where we post all the latest and greatest in TV movie news and reviews.
Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. We're always posting videos, about 3 to 5 a week, ending up closing out the year in 2024, going into 2025, kind of the dumpster fire of the movie industry in January, but there's going to be a few movies like Wolfman and a few others coming out. So, of course, we're going to be back reviewing stuff every week because we love doing this for you guys. And thanks for all your support in 2024 and more great things coming in 2025 to this channel right here.
So stay tuned. We're going to be back very soon with more Cinefellas movie reviews, TV reviews, video game reviews, podcasts, Cinefellas fellas giveaways, and much, much more. Some new features too, I'm sure will pop up in 2025. We've got big plans. So thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you haven't already, please click like and subscribe. And until the next Cinefellas movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Hill.
And I'm Rachel Zegler signing out till the next movie review for Snow White in March. Cheers!
Cheers.